Alrighty, welcome back to some more Meakashi. So where we last left off, a lot of things have happened. A long talk with Mio Takano about the history of the village before it actually become into Hinamizawa, as usual. And Mion decides to came in and under wonders about Satoshi. It's like, well, it was a pretty drastic moment right there. Wait, what was that? Let me look at this tips real quick. Yeah, view new tips. So I did say that I'm supposed to read these tips before moving on to the next one. So let's do that. I saw Mio Takano a few times after that. At her core, she was fascinated with the bizarre and she had an insatiable curiosity that was just as strong. Oh, really? I have to remind myself not to take her story too seriously. Well, no shit. Otherwise, I might start believing that Satoshi-kun disappeared because of the curse. She's talked about the dark history of Hinamizawa a lot. It's all very interesting. Her theories are based on nothing but conjecture, but some of her intuition covers facts that only members of the Sonozaki family would know. She thinks that Oyashiro-sama's curse is the continuation of these ancient rituals. In other words, she believes that the curse is performed by religious fanatics. According to her theory, a religious cult once existed in Hinamizawa, and the three families stemmed from it. She believes that they are operating behind the scenes in order to revive the dignity of the Onikafuchi people, which was lost during the Meiji era. Mio-san's theories are far-reaching, and looking at them on a larger scale, they end up making a lot of sense. But they can't offer any explanation for Satoshi-kun's disappearance when using them on a smaller one. Her theories are just too broad. And then page 64. I exchange information with Oishi every now and then. We'd each expect new leads from each other, but neither of us had any luck. I no longer believe the tip that Satoshi-kun might have headed to Tokyo. It was clearly bogus anyway. Although I can't befriend Oishi, he's been fair about the deal. He alone has been serious about uncovering any new information. Oishi's sources are quite reliable, so whenever I found some dubious tip, I checked with him to see if it was valid. My meetings with him have diminished in frequency since he's been assigned to new cases. Eventually, we stopped meeting entirely. Oishi stopped investigating, and I reached the limits of my sources of information. People now think that Satoshi-kun's disappearance was a supernatural phenomenon called demoning away. In Hinamizawa, they refer to his disappearance as him having transferred, and nobody will talk about it otherwise. Disappearance was a supernatural phenomenon. Well, limits my source information. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't like the way that phrase is used to erase him. Page 85. During the upheaval surrounding Oyashiro-sama's curse in 1982, I was pulled this way and that by new leads on Satoshi-kun's disappearance. Every time I found information that looked promising, I kept changing my theories. But that also became an incredible burden on me. It wore me down plenty on its own. The fatigue was harsh, but also provided a very kind acceptance. Bit by bit, it soothed away the anger, sadness, and doubt that wore me down. I'll never forget Satoshi-kun. I'll never try to forget him and move on. I constantly repeated those to myself in my head. I repeated them to keep my memories of Satoshi-kun from fading too, over and over. For the sake of my fun memories of Satoshi-kun, together with my fear and my sadness, I repeated them forever and ever. And that's the end of these 3 tips. So let's look at all these tips. Okay, so that is it so far. Alright, now that we're done with these tips, let's continue to the 9th chapter of some sort. AD 1983. The 4th year of the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, also known as Oyashiro-sama's curse, 1 year after Satoshi Hojo's disappearance. 1 year. I hadn't been able to get used to my new school in Okonomiya, but I had some friends there now. Since I got a part-time job at my relative's store, I had some extra pocket money too. I ended up living with my parents after all, so I didn't have to pay for living expenses. It felt great to get to freely spend the money I earned from working. I still used the room Kasai set up for me from time to time. It was a convenient hideout for when I didn't want to see my parents. In fact, I was planning to spend the day there today. Damn that teacher! She told my parents that I was skipping classes. My dad got upset, and that was why I didn't want to stay at home. I had been asking for it though. My teacher should know that my dad is a Yakuza and that he gets really scary when he's mad. On the whole, my life had been going well so far, except that it was boring. The reason I could enjoy this lifestyle is probably because I had to live in secret before. It was a great relief to be able to live without having to fake my identity. Well, that might have been a valuable experience. I think I learned from it. I was going grocery shopping and thought I'd get enough food for a week or so. My parents would appreciate my presence more after missing me for a week. I was doing this for their sakes. Oh wait, isn't there a 100 yen sale today? Yeah, there is. I knew how to save my pocket money. I was in a good mood. I spun around with my arms spread out. I felt like I was inside a little whirlwind. My arm hit a motorcycle parked on the sidewalk. It obviously wasn't where it was supposed to be. As always. Ow, what the? Who parked this motorcycle here? I gave the motorcycle a kick with no hesitation. There were 3 motorcycles lined up in a row. They all fell like dominoes. It was beautiful and so much fun. Oh? This was odd. I felt like I'd gone through the exact same experience before. Oh, you haven't learned your lesson, did you? While blinking my eyes in an effort to recall when that was, some people grabbed me by the neck and dragged me into a dark alley. It looked like these punks were the owners of those motorcycles. They started shouting at me. This really was strange. I was having deja vu. The fuck are you, bitch? What you think you're doing, huh? Fucking bash your head in, bitch. Grah, gotta pay for what you did. That's right. It was when I met Satoshi-kun for the first time. He came to save me. If I pretended to cry again now, would he come to save me again? I made a wish, and I started pretending to cry and beg for mercy. At that time, I doubted my ears. Cut it out. Can't you see she's crying? Oh, look at that. It is Keiichi. My first appearance of the sprite. Look at that shit. It was a boy about my age. I couldn't quite see his face because of the light illuminating him from behind. Satoshi-kun? Of course, it couldn't be him. It couldn't be. When I snapped out of my daydream, I realized that it wasn't Satoshi-kun after all. He looked less gracious than Satoshi-kun, so to speak. If Satoshi-kun was pristine and untouched, then this guy would have scratches all over him. But although they were completely different, I got a similar impression from him somehow. What the hell? What the fuck are you? You want to get hurt or what? Fucking say something, son of a bitch. The boy looked a bit taken aback. Ah, well, I just thought you might want to let her go because she's crying so. Huh? The fuck you think you telling us what you do? Whoa, hold on. I'm against violence. What was up with this guy? I felt ashamed that I mistook him for Satoshi-kun even for a second. He seemed cool at first, but he wasn't as cool as Satoshi-kun after all. Well, I mean, I'm sorry that your motorcycles were knocked down, but I hope you don't feel too bad about it. How can I make you feel better? Of course, we don't have any money on us, you know? Humph, you don't got your money, then if you got your no money, you gotta pay with your body. This chick's got some real nice boobies. Strip her down, you see? Hey, are you kidding me? I tightened my grip on my stun gun in my pocket. Then I turned it up to the maximum intensity. Don't hold a grudge against me if you die, pervs. I love it when girls get stripped in those porn videos. Huff. Yeah, this stripping is better than the actual sex. They indulge in their imaginations, which arouse their spirits. Hey now, why are you perverts closing in on me? Your gross hands are groping the air. Are you gonna try and violate me? Ah, stripping's awesome. Stripper. Ah, yeah. Let's strip her from the top to the bottom. Socks off. She'll be as naked as the jaybird. Hey, are you out of your mind? Don't touch me with those filthy hands. Then a flash of light cut through the air. Was that the boy? You stupid fucks. Blows like thunderbolts knocked the punks down. Wow, so he was actually strong after all? What the hell? You want some? Huh? You don't have a clue, idiots. What the fuck are you on about? There's nothing arousing about stark nakedness. Leave her socks on at least, no matter what. That is the ironclad rule. Listen up, monkeys. It's the difference between Homo sapiens and other animals. That's right, humans wear clothes. Human beings without clothes are just animals. If you get aroused only when the girl's completely naked, you are less than human. You might as well be animals. I'm going to knock some sense into you. Clench those teeth. Oh my gosh, look at that screen right there. Woof orc gah. You mentioned a porn movie, didn't you? Let's say there's a cosplay sex video. The definition of cosplay is too broad. To lecture on that subject is as difficult as explaining the spirit of... I can't even read that. Hold on. Colors... These three divisions. Hey, you tall one, you take the regular uniform. Fat one, you take the gym uniform, and you, the short one, you take the school swimsuit. Picture the image in your head within 3 seconds. Are you done? That's not good enough. Do it again. Let's say there's a porn video of your favorite cosplay. Use your imagination. Come on. Say yes, sir, when you got it. Are you really military man? You maggots? Good. You all seem to have an image in your heads now. Let's move on. Think. We take all the clothes off. That's not cosplay anymore, is it? Sort of videos rampant lately. Oh my god, it's going to move too fast. Dogs, monkeys, peasants. Pack your bags and get out. Wait, get back there. As you know, huge amount of Russian porn vids. Beautiful Russian schoolgirl, which is a combination of a Japanese uniform fetish and some Russian thing, is emerging. School uniforms are part of Japanese culture and oh my god, giving people ideas. Oh man. Let me read this real quick. Say there's a cosplay sex video. The definition of cosplay is too broad. To lecture on that subject is as difficult as explaining the spirit of Yamato of two Yankees parachuting down from B-29s. So I'll limit the scope to the most popular ones. School uniforms. What are the three most prominent divisions in the larger category of school uniforms? Answer me. That's right. Regular uniforms, gym uniforms, and school swimsuits. Both the sailor style and blazer style are included under regular uniforms, by the way. Gym shorts or bloomers are likewise, and the color preference between white and navy school swimsuits is the same. Well, it doesn't sound exciting already. Let's say each of you has a preference in one of these three divisions. Hey, you, tall one, you take the regular uniform. Fat one, you take the gym uniform, and you, the short one, you take the school swimsuit. Picture the image in your head within 3 seconds. Are you done? That's not good enough. Do it again. Let's say there's a porn video of your favorite cosplay. Use your imagination. Come on. Say yes, sir, when you got it. Are you really military men? You maggots? Good. You all seem to have an image in your heads now. Let's move on. Imagine that your favorite cosplay is stripped entirely naked because of your stupid desire. You gotta think. If you take all of your clothes off, that's not cosplay anymore, is it? That sort of videos rampant lately. It's just lamentable. Humans without clothes aren't civilized, they're animals. If only naked girls decided you'd be a pack of dogs, monkeys, or pheasants. Pack your bags and get out. Wait, get back there. As you know, a huge amount of Russian porn vids are going around lately thanks to the end of the Cold War. You don't know that? Get out of here. I heard that this style called Beautiful Russian Schoolgirl, which is a combination of this Japanese uniform fetish and some Russian thing, is emerging. But I'll never accept that. School uniforms are part of Japanese culture and art. Those stupid barbarians will never understand the Japanese spirit. Are you listening, you pathetic squid? Clench your teeth. I'll train you till you drop. I won't let you sleep until you are capable of... whatever. At that point, I heard a bustle of people running this way. My Bara-san, I gathered some people. I saw several kids running toward us. It seemed like our backup had arrived. Aw, shit. Let's get out of here. The three punks had just been standing there agape, but they started running away when they saw that many people. You're awesome, my Bara-san. You had those punks transfixed all by yourself. One of them even had a nosebleed. You're so strong, my Bara-san. Phew. Seems my personal aura has grown more powerful. If this keeps up, I'll soon surpass even Coach's made in heaven reality marble. Anyway, are you alright, Mion? The boy was apparently called Maibara. He turned around to face me. Even the way he mistook me for Mion sounded like Satoshi-kun. But Satoshi-kun isn't a pervert like him. I was anxious to see how you'd fight back, but I guess 3 guys were too many, huh? I don't believe it. I was still confused. I couldn't let grasp the situation. Who was this guy? Mion has friends like him? I was still spacing out in shock, so I forgot to move until his hand touched my head. Well, you know, I'll forget that I saw you cry, so cheer up, okay? Rub, rub. The boy called Maibara stroked my head, roughly. It didn't feel good. It hurt, Ashley. Still, his hand had the same warmth. Later on, Mion told me about him. He was called Keiichi Maibara. Kei-chan for short. He's 1 grade below us. Not only that, but he just moved to Hinamizawa. Thanks to his attitude and lack of manners, he had already become an idol in their class. Mion joyously explained all of this. Sure, he sounded like a fun kid. I knew why Mion was into him, but Satoshi-kun is way cooler. He wasn't worth stealing from Sis, or was he? My heart throbbed. I was excited. It felt like I'd gotten a new toy. I was curious as to what kind of relationship Mion intended to build with him. I'd love to tease her about it. Thanks, Kei-chan. Let me buy you a drink. My uncle's restaurant is just nearby, so why don't we go there? Satoshi-kun would refuse out of modesty. But Keiichi Maibara said okay within 2 seconds. Well then, I couldn't wait to tease the 2 of them. My boring life suddenly became bright again. Whoa, hey, don't cling to my arm. Oh, don't you like it? Well, I don't hate it, but it's just your breasts that are touching me and... My breasts bother you? Oh wow. Keiichi Maibara was fun. Mion thought the same way I did. She would always talk about him. I was happy for her. It made me smile. I guess Kei-chan is really your favorite, huh, sis? What's the most interesting thing about him? Let's see. To put it plainly, he's just funny. For example, just a couple of days ago in the club, Mion really liked him, but didn't seem to think it was love yet. She's reserved in that area, so that was really like her. As for me, well, I didn't hate him, but my feelings weren't the same as Mion's. Kei-chan was just too childish compared to Satoshi-kun. I wondered how Satoshi-kun was doing. Was he waiting for things to cool down somewhere far away? The case had already been solved, though. That dopehead was the murderer. There was no reason for him to wait anymore. I shook my head. I shouldn't think about it too much. Oh wait, I know. The case was confidential, so the rest of the culprit hadn't been made public. So Satoshi-kun hadn't realized that he could come back. I know he's a little thick-headed. Maybe he'd be waiting for things to calm down until the end of time. But if so, couldn't he give it a call to Satoko at least? He should tell her he's living in a faraway place, but that he'd be coming home soon. Ah, that stupid Satoko. She'd been living with Rika Furu since Satoshi-kun went away, so nobody would pick up the phone even if he called. Stupid girl, don't you want your big brother to come home? Given Satoshi-kun's personality, he wouldn't remember any phone numbers other than his home number, so he wouldn't be able to contact anybody in Hinamizawa. Maybe he's been calling Satoko every night. He keeps ringing, but nobody picks up. Then he'd assume Satoko might be taking a bath or be in the restroom. He'd put on a puzzled smile while mumbling, like always. I imitated his voice without realizing it. After that, What? What's up? Didn't you say something, Shion? I laughed it off and urged Mion to continue. I realized then that her tone had changed. I hadn't been listening to her because I was thinking about Satoshi-kun. I thought she was still happily talking about Kei-chan, but Mion sounded grim now. Her faint smile looked pitiful. It was too late to ask what was going on, so instead, I concentrated on her story instead. After all that, Uncle gave everybody a doll as a thank you gift. Everybody except for me. Okay, except for you. I wanted one too, but I couldn't say it in front of everybody. You still can't express your needs, huh? And then? Mion sniffled. I realized that she was on the verge of tears. The cutest doll was in Kei-chan's bag. And you wanted that doll? It didn't matter which one, but although Kei-chan knew only I didn't get one, he didn't give it to me. Hick, he didn't even give it to me. He said the doll wouldn't fit me and that I should be born as a boy in my next life. That's what he said. Hick. No words. That was Keiichi's weak point. He might be fun and popular, but he wasn't mature. Not like Satoshi-kun. I want to start all over. I want to go back to when I just met him and start all over. I want him to treat me like a girl from the beginning. Don't take it too seriously. It'll be okay because it's just you who wants to start over while he didn't even notice anything wrong. It'll be harder if you guys fought over it or something. Can I start over? If you didn't cry in front of him, it's not too late. You can cry as much as you want now, and if you show him a different side of you from tomorrow on, you can still fix it. Okay. I'm amazed how insensitive he is, but part of that is just the impression you've been giving him so far. If you change your attitude from tomorrow on, you can still change his mind. How do I change my attitude? How? If I tell you to act cute, you start going to school in frilly clothes, so don't think and just be natural. But without overdoing it, pay attention to how you behave around him. And don't forget to be cautious of Reina. She's a bit ahead of you so far. Kei-chan might prefer Reina at this point. Oh, it's true. Reina's really girly. She's cute and caring. That just means you can't slack off for even a moment, sis, because you've got a rival. Tears can attract men, but they don't anchor them. You should always be smiling, but cry when it really counts. That's how you typically do it. Maybe I should try that on Kei-chan myself. No, don't. You know, the twins are talking. I can't even tell if it's Mion or Shion talking. It's really confusing. But Shion, from what I assume, is she's giving Mion advice. And he's the boy you like, so I guess it's natural that I like him too. How can I attract him? Hey sis, why don't we have a competition over him? No, never. I'll kick you into orbit if you come near Hinamizawa. I'm happy for you, sis. It's not too late at all. It's important to know the distance between the boy you love and yourself, and shift the way you appeal to him to compensate. The boy I love is missing, you know? I don't even know where he is, or when he's coming back. Compared to that, you're very lucky. Mion was saying she'd do her best from tomorrow on with red, tearful eyes, but I sensed a deeply negative feeling emerging inside me. Nobody was blaming Mion for being happy with Keiichi. I wasn't envious. I wasn't jealous. I didn't want her to be blamed the same way I was blamed. It was just that there was no space for Satoshi-kun in Mion's mind anymore, filled as it was with Kei-chan and her other friends now. It didn't matter to her if Satoshi-kun came back or not, just like how she didn't care if it was sunny or rainy tomorrow. What about me then? Had I been thinking about Satoshi-kun all the time for the past year? I wasn't proud of my own answer. I'd become used to life without Satoshi-kun. His absence didn't hurt me anymore. I was getting used to life with Keiichi Maibara, and if I let my guard down, he might just fill up the space I've been saving for Satoshi-kun. If Shion Sonozaki had prayed harder for Satoshi-kun to return, he might have come home already. Where did Satoshi-kun go? That's my question. Last year, right after his disappearance, I'd paid close attention to the information circulating in the Sonozaki family and its underground connections, and I frequently went to the police station to check with Oishi for new information. Even with all that, I couldn't get any new leads on his whereabouts. I eventually became interested in Oyashiro-sama's curse, which surrounded Satoshi-kun's disappearance. I researched the dark history of the village. The more I looked into it, the less likely his survival seemed. I'd returned Mio-san's scrapbooks to her, and then I hadn't gone to the library since. I started a new life in a new school. I'd made new friends, and in the same way, as falling leaves covered the ground, I felt like I was losing sight of what was really important to me. It was already almost the end of spring. They said that summer was coming early, and it'll be very hot this year. Normally it'll be the rainy season now, but we'd had no rain at all. The Watanagashi festival was right around the corner. It had been almost a year since Satoshi-kun went missing. In Hinamizawa, they don't allow you to talk openly about Oyashiro-sama's curse, or the series of mysterious deaths. So everybody acts like the murder of Satoshi-kun's aunt never happened. That's because Satoshi Hojo-kun was a member of the family of traders. He fell victim to Oyashiro-sama's curse on the 4th year running. He was demoned away. Everybody was trying to forget about his existence, and erase their memories of him. Don't make him disappear because of the curse. Don't erase his existence. Satoshi-kun was living in Hinamizawa just a year ago. He went to school. He was an A student. He was a member of the Hinamizawa Fighters. He could never hit the ball when it really mattered. He was unreliable but pure. He was warm. Because of the curse, people made him disappear. They stopped mentioning his name and acted like he never existed. A new resident like Keiichi Maibara wouldn't even know him. He seriously believed that Satoshi-kun had transferred out. I miss you, Satoshi-kun. I want to go shopping with you again. I want to be in the baseball game with you again and get a cold drink afterwards. I want to tease you and I want you to stroke my head again. Your hand was so warm. I felt as if my whole body was being caressed. Satoshi-kun. I haven't opened this notebook in a while. My feelings have been written down for over 150 pages. This notebook is the key to my heart. The other me who's been sleeping since last year is slowly waking up. Notebook, page 150. Let's see. I'm quite amazed by your dirty deeds, Keiichi-san. Dirty deeds. He is a boy, after all. Mi-chan, Shi-chan, Keiichi-kun looks confused. Oh. Did you hear that, sis? We're not playing tug-of-war here. Are you trying to tear Kei-chan apart? I'm not playing tug-of-war. You're the one who's stretching him. Go back to Okonomiya, Shion. Okay, I will. Oops. I let go of Keiichi suddenly, so he and Sis flew off like a rubber band. Keiichi rolled on the ground while Sis was stuck in the bush, head first. What lively people. See you, Kei-chan. Sis might assault me if I stick around any longer, so I'll get going. Oh, Shion, thanks for today. Forget it. I didn't do much. See you, Shion. Anyway, so he was like, see you, Shion. His hand landed on my head. Rub, rub, rub. He stroked my head pretty roughly, but the warmth reminded me. Ah, Ah ha ha ha. Excuse me, I'm going. Sia says, don't ever come here again. Reina, keep your eyes on her. Satoko, set traps. Rika-chan, purify this area with salt. Oh, wow. Mion is preventing Shion from going to visiting Keiichi, of course. So anyway, see you, Shion, or whatever. The warmth remained on the top of my head. It felt ticklish and sore. I had to stop. I got off my moped and pushed that aching spot against the telephone pole. I'm sorry, Satoshi-kun. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I never forgot about you. I still remember you. I'm worthless without you. I can't stand life without you because it's gray and cold and boring. It's true. It's true. I can never smile because you aren't here. I can't. See you, Shion. Keiichi's face appeared in my mind. I recalled the touch of his hand stroking my head. It wasn't warm. I wasn't happy. It was rough and painful. I hate that insensitive guy. He's too childish, rude, and cold. He's like a stray dog. I wasn't happy. It wasn't warm. I wasn't happy or overjoyed at all. No! Oh, Satoshi-kun. Oh, wah. And all that. Satoshi-kun mumbled. He didn't know what to say in a situation like this, but he knew that he had better say something. He wanted to say something, but he didn't know what to say. So he just mumbled. I'm sorry, Shion. Why are you apologizing, Satoshi-kun? I'm the one who should apologize. Even though I said I'd wait for you, even though I believed my heart wouldn't change, my heart is full of holes. You're leaking out from the small cracks in my heart, little by little. You're leaking out from me. Are you suffering because I'm here? Well, why? You're so precious to me, so don't say that. I've been here with you all this time, but I think I'm hurting you by continuing to exist. I don't want that. That's not true. No, no, no. Where have you been, Satoshi-kun? You weren't with me. Tell me where you are. What's the address? What's the postal code? What's the name of the city? What's the street number? Tell me. There isn't an address. I knew it. Telling me you've always been with me. Always by my side. That's such a cliche. Which do you prefer, Shion? If I can give you strength, I'll stay by your side forever. But if you're suffering because of me, I'll disappear right away. Don't say that. I want to be with you, always. I want to be with you, forever. Okay, I'll stay with you then. A car passed by. Okay, well, I'm going to end this here for now. So, next part, we're going to go and continue more of this. Of how it's going to go out. So, like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys later. Have a good one.